You're tuned in to the Musical Mamas broadcast. I'm your host, Cinder Sparks. Have a rest and take note as we showcase musical mamas, women in the music industry, and friends of musical mamas, discovering their journey through the magic of music. Well, welcome, Carrie Day, to the Musical Mamas broadcast. So happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be here.
Well, excellent. Yes, the little Csparksfly crash pad is fairly cozy. We've had some good interviews over the last few months, and here we are, November. It's gone by fairly fast.
Yeah.
A lot of cool things have happened in October. We were met up at the night market and we had some good times there with the musical mamas. It was certainly a treat to hear you perform. And I understand that you have some really interesting and new endeavors coming up in your musical journey. So tell me about what's happening now for you.
Well, I'm going to release an album next month. I guess officially on November 16th. I'll be doing a little concert at the Naked Cafe in Edmonton.
Oh, wonderful.
And so the album right now is being manufactured. I'm doing a short run of CDs, and then maybe down the road I'll do some vinyl. That's the direction I'd like to move into, so we'll see. And it's a 10-song album called Something to Believe In, and I recorded it at home, so it's the first project that I've done it all at home.
Wow, like end to end, the whole production, the playing, the performing, the mixing. This is incredible.
Yeah, not the mastering, and I got quite a bit of feedback and help with the mixing process, because it's, I rely a lot on my ear and what I think things should sound like, but there's a real art and science to it, and I think it'll take a very long time to learn that well. So I hope that one day I'll get there, and I am quite happy with the work that I've done. I just know that, I can always learn more and improve, and you're a lot like that yourself, right? We're always just wanting to...
I'm a hands-on type of person.
Yeah.
It seems that it sinks in a little bit more when I'm doing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's certainly is a process, and it's good to collaborate.
Yeah.
And, open your mind, to learn from each other. And certainly what I've also discovered is there are many different ways to do something to get the end result, different paths.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
And you learn how to listen for different things.
Yeah.
And like even when I was showing you some old recordings, you can't help but, hear all the other little incidents. That was just like a demo, but you start to think differently, you start to hear differently once you start to be aware of all the other levels within that mix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so true. And even being able to, when you record digitally, you see the actual wave, and you see the frequencies and different things that are going on. So your ear can kind of guide you, your eyes guide you, then you try to connect what you see with what you hear and make sense of it all. So
absolutely. Especially with the little voice track graph part, I began to recognize the shape of and
yeah. Exactly. Well, I've done some audio editing for podcasts, and what you get used to the certain people that you edit for, and you can almost work ahead and that's an okay, I'll just take that out. Okay, that's this.
Like airbrushing your speech.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, very cool. What is the album title?
Something to Believe In. And it's after one of the songs, and that was the second title. I had this working title for a long time that I would call the album For the Daughters and the Sons, or something like that, because quite a few of the songs are reflecting. One of them is even a mom or a woman that's talking to her late mom. One of them is about a young man, and he's talking to his parents a little bit. So I had that kind of as an umbrella idea, and then I was thinking, like, well, with all the embracing of gender,
Yes.
that leaves out a demographic of people too. So I don't want it to be just it's kind of old-fashioned, even though the songs are old-fashioned. The idea for that is, and I don't want to create new art that it automatically feels dated just because of the times that we live in. So Something to Believe In is one of the songs, and it sort of it does. I think it captures the overall tone and theme of the songs as a whole.
There's a sound to your sleeplessness, like crabs in a hiding place, calling out to be found, broken down by the gate. There's a river running between us, too troubling to traverse, surging with unsung songs, laden with unsaid words. Your silhouette to my left, burning behind closed eyes. I fear I'm forgetting your touch. Do you remember my height? And the morning bells will ring from the church on the corner. We were never the praying kind. Lately I gotta wonder. Give me something to believe in, something to help us through, something worth fighting for, something to hold on to. I've got my own secret crimes, like phantoms of the night, daring me in the dark to bring them to light. And the morning birds have woken, they're not afraid to sing their sweet angelic songs while those church bells ring. Give me something to believe in, something to help us through, something worth fighting for, something to hold on to. Give me something to believe in, something to help us through, something worth fighting for, something to hold on to.
Oh, that's fantastic. More and more intrigued. I can't wait for the release.
Oh, thank you.
And the Naked Cafe, or is it the Naked Cyber Cafe? Or
I
did
think
they
it
drop the
goes
cyber? By both?
Maybe
Yes.
they dropped the cyber just because of the
Yeah.
age that we live in. But yeah,
It's
there
true.
are still some computers there. I did
Yeah.
see that.
I did have a lunch meeting there not too long ago,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
surprised that they did take out a lot of the computers, which were fairly
did.
dated computers, and you can
Yeah.
understand that. But they still have Wi-Fi, so it's kind of like bring your own gear, and
Yeah.
you can still
Yeah.
do a lot there. But it did open up for a lot more tables because it is a really nice venue,
It
and it's all
is.
ages
I know.
and fairly decent parking.
Yeah.
Even though it's downtown, you can just
Yeah.
register your license plate.
Yeah. And I love that piano that Bob has.
Yes,
in
he
there now.
brought in the grand piano. It was like
so
it's
beautiful.
waiting for Carrie Day. That was just almost. When I saw it too, I thought, oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's just so beautiful. So
Maybe you should do a photo shoot where you're lying on it.
I know. I
should.
did do like a little photo shoot with Glenn, but I don't know if we got any pictures that we were going for like very artistic, high contrast Glenn
yes.
type photos. But yeah, it's such a beautiful piano and with the brick wall. It's just it has such a nice vibe.
Yes,
And,
good
Yeah,
choice.
thank you. Well, you did one of the
Yeah.
CD releases there too.
Yeah, Musical Mamas Volume 1.
Yeah.
And that was just a great location. It was almost, well, of course, we had a fairly good turnout, so it felt
It was
that
packed.
it was really packed.
Yeah.
And then, we were looking for a bigger venue for Volume 2, and then we got hit with, weather, and then it was almost kind of ridiculous because it was from one extreme to the next, where the
Yeah.
next venue was maybe a bit too much space, but you
Right.
learn as you go, and that's the beauty
So
of
true.
doing. And so often I think we get into the feeling of I gotta wait until I'm good enough here or reach this level, and you can have it's good to have a certain play with that, but
Yeah.
you can easily procrastinate yourself away from never doing something
Exactly.
because you don't feel or you get hesitant, and sometimes you
That's
just gotta
exactly
put it
it.
out there so you can actually learn from that experience.
100%, and that's how I feel about this album because I'm not an engineer, and I'm not. I don't even call the space like it's not even a home studio. It's just a little room that has a microphone and a little bit of sound treatment and a computer and some instruments. But I felt too like at this stage in life like it's quite fast paced, even though like I would, if I could choose it wouldn't be like that, but that's just the nature of how life is right now. We talked about maintaining homes and
Yes.
our kitchen, having to gut our kitchen due to mold and then rebuilding it, and that's time consuming, and of course you need resources and money, so it just felt like I can't go into this studio. I just can't.
No, it
It's
can be
like-
complicated when you work within your
Yeah,
living
within your-
area, and it
within
is
your
your
means,
studio,
so-
and it's not like you're leaving to go to a formal studio. However, there's been some incredible quality of recording captures from a simple space
That's true
as opposed
too.
to sometimes
Yeah.
the overwhelming bigger spaces, depending on what I guess you're recording and mixing
Yeah,
and being able to
exactly.
work with that. I mean, because even the Edmonton Library, when it was in its previous form, I know that they're adding the recording spaces back, which
that's right.
has been a wonderful resource for many people.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a friend that recorded and released an album out that they did themselves
Yes.
at the library.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot these days.
No.
Of course, I would love to go in the studio and have that experience again, and work with people like Stu Kirkwood, and where you just go in and then you do your thing, and then all this magic happens around it. I just don't have the means to do that right now.
No,
I
and
still
I
want to
think
create. Right?
yeah, exactly. And I think technology is actually coming a long ways from where it was, where an artist was truly limited by what resources that they could line up to capture their craft.
Yeah.
And even finding the right engineer to work with you so they don't change your sound, like sometimes someone's vision of what they see you as, and then they put their spin, like might not line up with what you want. I think actually in our Musical Mamas calendar we had, if I remember right, some inspirational words from Billie Holiday, which is our December feature.
Oh,
And I'll just
yeah.
quote her: "People don't understand the kind of fight it takes to record what you want to record the way you want to record it."
Yeah.
I think that's
true.
profound.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Yeah.
certainly words to review and remember when you're in the midst of trying to capture that sound.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes, at least when you're doing it yourself, you don't have to try to convey that to another person verbally, where sometimes you can get off page and they could put a whole bunch of effects to your track and really saturate the sound, and it might not be what you were looking for, you know, and then got to do it all over again and trying to tell your recording engineer that you don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's you.
For
But
sure.
it just, there's so many things that can be spun onto a recording, and sometimes it can really make a beautiful rendition of and better than you expected. And other times it can be a disappointment, but it's the learning process of doing.
Exactly.
Sometimes it can work for you, and other times maybe not so much. I know that some feedback that I've gotten from just speaking with other artists, where they said my album was so produced that I couldn't replicate that live,
Exactly.
and then sometimes it makes it more difficult to
To connect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. There's a place for both, I guess. Like I like a lot of the produced stuff that I've done
Yes.
before, and maybe those songs have better legs in terms of radio play and things like that. Or, but yeah, there is this fine balance of capturing what you do live and putting that on an album and keeping that live element there,
Yes.
but maybe adding some more layers or details just to make it I don't know, take it in a, I don't know, add a bit of color, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. And even when it comes to radio play, I do understand they certainly have to have their 440 megahertz and you know all that kind of deal, and it is nice to be able to tweak it to be the level that you'd like it to be at, even if most people can't hear the difference.
Yeah, that's good.
I think truly when it comes to the commercial side of it, they'll play what they want to play.
Exactly.
And
or what they're required to play.
Or what they're required to play. And certainly appreciate the college and university stations, and even what's sprung up now with different podcasts that feature other artists that aren't within this commercialized kind of strainer method of who they're going to play or not. I mean, we think we've all tried to produce something that's radio worthy from what we're told is ready for radio. And it doesn't necessarily mean that radio is going to play it, even if it's ready for it.
It's so true.
Such pretty words circling, and half of them are lost on me. And your eyes, they say everything. I have to look away, away. in fantasies over glasses half emptied, in a valley of disparity between what I see and what you say. What you say. And I will hold on to hope. Yes, my glass is half full, but I won't play stupid anymore. No, that's no longer me. You see, I've given more than been given, and I've been unwillingly taken. Those times I leave forsaken, but not forgotten. You see, you can't forget those kinds of things. Your words almost poetry, not sober yet sobering. They fall almost silently, a little too far away, a little too far away. It's better that way.
Our interview with Carrie Day will continue in part 2 of the Musical Mamas broadcast November feature. Check out more events and interesting opportunities at musicalmamassociety.com.
Entertain, inform, inspire. Check out the views with the Edmonton Muse. Play and groove with the Edmonton Muse. Subscribe today
edmontonmuse.ca, your hot connection to events, business, music, arts, and more. Edmonton Muse is a gold sponsor of the Musical Mamas Society. I'm Cinder Sparks. Thank you for listening. Tune in again and take note to share the Musical Mamas broadcast. Produced in partnership with Csparksfly Productions, the Musical Mama Society, and our gold sponsors, Pedals on the Trail, Axe Construction, and the Edmonton Muse. Make your party a blast. See Sparks Fly. Visit cindersparks.com to find out more. To send contact requests and music, go to musicalmamasociety.com.